Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you very much for the opportunity and thanks for having me here in Manchester Matters number 3. And my topic is about unexpected Indonesians. Now, to give you a context about what it means to be an Indonesian, you have to understand that we live on a very strict Eastern culture. I remember when I was a kid, my life, without realizing it at the time, my life has already been planned by my parents. So my parents was a doctor. My dad was a doctor. My mom was a nurse. And naturally, the path for me is to become like them, to become a doctor. So at a gathering of families, one of my uncles asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I was 10 at the time. Without giving me a second to think about my answer would be, my dad came from behind and said he's going to be a doctor. So that's decided for me then. In Indonesia, it's very important for you to respect your parents, to respect the elderly, because they've been there, they've done that, they know more than you do. Any attempt to even question them will put you in a position where you're considered as disrespectful. So our lives is defined by milestones set by our parents. We are expected to, milestone A, get married. Milestone B, get a kid. Milestone C, get a good house. Milestone D, get a good job. Milestone E, get another kid. Milestone F, send your kid to school. Milestone G, get a grandchild. So all of these milestones can give you judgment from other people. If you're a guy over 30 and you're not married yet, people will look at you and say, "Is there something wrong with him? Why is he not getting married yet?" For a girl, it's even worse. When you hit 25 and you're not getting married, people will start asking questions, rude questions. So these pressures from families, from friends, kind of set you up to live your life according to their expectations. So you don't have a chance to set what do you want to be when you grow up. Now, it's not all that bad. The good thing about that is you're safe. You don't have to think about what you need to do. Everything has been done for you. And then another good side of that is when you have your life expectations set up, it's not easy to fall down from too high expectations. So you're content with what you have in your life. Now, so what does it mean to be unexpected? I'm going to tell you a story about 3 people who lived their life away from expectations from Indonesians. So first, this lady over here called Chandra Waworuntu. She's a normal woman. She has her expectations. She got married. She had a kid. But then 1998 happens, the financial crisis. Her husband left her. He lost her job. He has a kid to feed. So what does she do? She thinks she can go to the States, earn a lot of money, and go back home and stay with her children. What she didn't realize, so she spent 30 million rupiah, so that's about, at that time it was about $2,700, so it's a lot of money, to pay for this agency and go through all these tests to go abroad with an expectations of working in the entertainment industry, so in hotels and stuff like that. But what actually happened? She was a victim of sex trafficking. In the first few hours of her life in the US, she was forced to have sex with another man. So what do you think happened to her expectations at the time? She expected A, but what happens is totally different things, where she left for almost 3 years serving men she doesn't know, taking on drugs to keep her alert, living on corn soup. So, but what happens? She doesn't give up. She never gives up. She keeps fighting on, and then she got out. She found a man who listens to her story. That man drove her to the FBI. He unraveled this whole sex trafficking network And on 2011, she was appointed as one of the 11 members of the US Advisory Council on Human Trafficking by President Obama. Does she expect any of this to happen? Definitely not. Definitely not. Next is Susi Pujastuti. Now, another thing about Eastern culture that you have to realize is that they judge you based on your habits. If you smoke, if you drink, if you have tattoos, people will think about you differently. So if you're a girl, 18 years old, and you smoke, people will be like, oh, that girl is not a good girl. Is it fair to say that? Is it fair to judge someone by their smoking habits? Or if they like to have a drink once in a while? No. But that's exactly what she is. She did not finish high school. She smoked cigarettes. She had tattoos. So the expectations around her at the time kind of defines her to be someone that cannot be successful. And then what did she do? She became even more unexpected. She gone into entrepreneurship, which is at the time is not normal. Why? Because parents expect you to go to a public school, get a job in a state-owned company or in governments where it's safe, where you have a safety income. So entrepreneurship is considered how much money you can get out of it. And it's coming out of ignorance because they don't know what entrepreneurship is. They don't know what they can achieve, right? So she's a self-made millionaire. She built 4 companies, mainly dealing in fisheries, selling lobsters, because from where she come from, she's coming from a coastal area. And then, what do people expect from successful entrepreneurs? They keep it to themselves. They make more money. They make their shareholders or their stakeholders happy. But what did she do? She is now currently the Minister of Maritime Affairs, asked by our President, Joko Widodo. Now, this is even more unexpected because how come you come from a CEO of 4 companies making millions, billions of rupiah, into a public servant? But she did an excellent job. She sunk 400 vessels of illegal fishing in 2 years alone. She grew the maritime industry by 8.37% year on year. She won 2 awards in the last 2 years, the WWF Environmental Award and the Peter Benchley Ocean Awards, which is extraordinary for someone who did not finish high school, smoke cigarettes, and have tattoos. The next is my dearest president, Jokowi, or Joko Widodo. She was born 21st of June 1961 in Surakarta. He was born from a humble family. He sold furniture for a living at the time. He had non-military background because in Indonesia, if you want to be president, you either have to be from military or you have to be a child of someone famous, a historical figure. He didn't go through any of those routes. She started politics in 2005 by becoming a mayor in a small city in Solo in Central Java. With only 9 years, he's now the most powerful man in Indonesia. Now, people expect him at the time just to live a normal life, just selling wood for a living. And when he started politics, he only wants to serve his people without any intention of gaining power. So politicians expect him to be controllable. But what he did, he actually introduced mind-blowing, never heard before policies that focus on improving the infrastructure of the country, eradicate unproductive bureaucracy. So he's actually making the world and Indonesia a better place. So there are other unexpected Indonesians. We have the youngest nominee of a Grammy, which is only a 13-year-old boy. We have Indonesians Elon Musk, who create electric cars, Ricky Elson, Anggun, and our current Minister of Finance, who is a former Deputy Director of the World Bank. So what can we take away from this? Is leave your comfort zone, be brave, never settle for normal. Don't blame circumstance and make your own luck. Make the unexpected of today an expectation of tomorrow. And I'm standing in here in front of you today, along with my fellow Indonesians, as people who are in process of becoming the unexpected. By being brave in leaving our home country, taking our families here, living our lives back home, no food, no crappy weather, to be honest. But why do we do that? Because we believe in better things. We want to be unexpected. We want to make Indonesia a better place because we love Indonesia. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for your time.